Hello, and welcome. Welcome to this quiet place, this gentle space we have found together, away from the noise and the hurry of the world. It is so good to have you here. Perhaps you're just waking, and the first light of morning is finding its way into your room. Perhaps it's the middle of the night, and you've come here seeking a soft voice in the stillness. Wherever you are, whatever time it is for you, know that you are part of a shared, peaceful community, gathered here from every corner of the world, all listening together. If you feel comfortable, perhaps you might share in the comments where and when you are listening. It is a quiet, simple way to feel our connection, to see this invisible community of thought and wonder stretching across the globe. We are so glad you're here. If you enjoy this journey, this gentle unfolding, perhaps you will consider subscribing or liking this quiet exploration. It helps this space to grow and to find others who might be looking for it. Tonight, or today, we are going on a journey. Not a journey of speed or distance, but one of imagination. It is a journey that begins with a simple, profound, and gentle question. A question that unravels the familiar and shows us something wondrous and strange beneath. We are going to drift on a single thought. A single what if? What if? What if the heart of our world, the golden anchor of our lives, the sun? What if, in an instant, it simply changed? What if the sun suddenly turned into a black hole? Now, before our journey begins, let us quiet our fears. The universe, in its wisdom, has already decided this will not be our sun's story. Our star is not massive enough for such a dramatic transformation. It will one day swell and fade, a different kind of ending, a different kind of gentle goodbye. But in the landscapes of thought, in the quiet realms of what if, we can explore any path, and so we shall. We will take this impossible idea and hold it gently, like a strange dark jewel, turning it over in our minds to see how the light of our understanding catches its edges. This is not a journey into fear, it is a journey into wonder, a contemplative unfolding of the profound connection we have to that star. It is an exploration of the threads that tie us to the cosmos. So find a comfortable place, settle in, let your breath slow down, let the world outside this moment gently fade. We are beginning our quiet journey. We are going to imagine the unimaginable, and we are going to do it softly, together. Let us begin in a moment of perfect, unsuspecting grace. Imagine yourself on a beautiful, ordinary day. Perhaps you're walking in a park, the grass a vibrant, living green beneath your feet. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, a familiar, comforting pressure, a golden weight that has defined every second of every day your ancestors ever lived. You look up, and the skies are brilliant, cloudless blue. The sun is there, a bright, benevolent circle, the great eye of the world, and in that very instant, light minutes away, the change happens. The star that has breathed life into this planet completes its impossible transformation. It collapses, in an instant, into a point of infinite density. The furnace is extinguished, the golden eye closes, but for you, here on Earth, nothing changes. Not yet. You continue your walk. The child on the swing nearby continues to laugh, reaching for the highest point of the arc. The bird continues its song, perched on a branch that is still, for now, absorbing the light. For 8.5 minutes the Earth is bathed in a lie. It is wrapped in the warmth of a star that is already gone. This light, this warmth you feel on your skin, is a ghost. It is an echo, a memory travelling across the void. You're living in the past, you're experiencing a moment that has already ended millions of miles away. Is that not a profound thought? That reality itself has a delay, that the universe is always speaking to us from its own past. We are always, in some small way, interacting with what was, not what is. These 8.5 minutes are a gift. They are a moment of pure, unknowing bliss. The world continues its familiar rhythm, unaware that the conductor has left the stage. The plants continue to turn their faces to a sun that is no longer there, drinking in the last of its old light. The oceans, a vast blue mirror, reflect a sky that is itself an illusion. You might feel a strange, introspective melancholy in this thought, to be so completely unaware of such a profound change. But is it not also beautiful? It is the universe's own gentle lag. It is the time it takes for the message to travel, and in that gap life continues, robust and trusting, You might pause in our imaginary journey and just feel that. Feel the phantom warmth on your skin. Feel the deep, trusting rhythm of the world around you. This is the last daylight your world will ever know, and it is already a memory. You are, in this moment, a creature living inside an echo. You're basking in the lingering perfume of a flower that has already been picked. The universe, in this moment, is a painting that is still wet, even though the painter has laid down the brush and walked away. What a tender, fragile, and poignant moment this is. The last quiet breath of the old world before the new one is revealed. And then it arrives. It does not arrive gradually, like a sunset. It does not fade with the gentle grace of twilight. It happens all at once. For you, standing in that park, it is as if a switch has been thrown. The world is plunged instantly into a darkness more profound than any night you have ever known. The blue sky vanishes. The warmth on your skin is not just gone, it is pulled away, replaced by the first sudden sting of a new, alien cold. Imagine the sound of the world in that instant. The bird's song would stop, cut mid-note. The child's laugh would turn into a gasp of confusion. Around the globe, every conversation, every engine, every human activity would pause. A collective, global silence would fall, punctuated only by questions. What happened? Turn the lights on. But the lights are on. The street lights might flicker to life, confused by the sudden night. City grids, powered by fuels and flows that have not yet stopped, would illuminate the pavement, but they would only illuminate the confusion. They would light up the faces of people looking upwards, staring at a patch of sky where the sun should be. And what would you see when you look up? You would see a velvet, perfect blackness. And then, as your eyes adjusted, you would see everything. You would see the universe as no human has ever seen it from the surface of the earth. The stars, not the gentle, scattered pinpricks of a suburban night, but a thick, blazing river of light. The Milky Way would not be a faint, milky smudge. It would be a vibrant, textured, celestial waterfall, a band of light so bright it would cast soft, ghostly shadows on the ground. You would see nebulae with the naked eye, faint smudges of cosmic colour. You would see galaxies, distant islands of light. The sky would be full, overflowing with a beauty that the sun's glare had always hidden from you. It would be majestic, it would be terrifying, and you would search for the moon. But the moon would be gone. Not gone from its orbit, but gone from sight. The moon is only a mirror, and its light, the gentle, silvery comfort of the night, was always just the borrowed light of the sun. Now, in the great darkness, the moon is just a cold, dark stone, an invisible companion, perhaps eclipsing the stars behind it as it passes, a hole in the new, brilliant tapestry of the sky. This is your new world, a world of sudden, profound, and beautiful night. A world where the true, vast, and populated nature of the cosmos is revealed all at once. The day is gone. There is only night and the far distant light of other suns. Now, a new kind of quiet fear might settle in. In this profound and sudden dark, your mind would immediately go to falling. Surely without the sun's immense gravity, the earth would be untethered. Surely we are now adrift, flung out into the cold, empty darkness of interstellar space. Or perhaps worse, surely we are being pulled in, spiraling into the new, terrifying black hole that has taken our star's place. You brace yourself for a lurch, a change, a feeling of vertigo. But it never comes. You feel nothing. You feel the pull of the earth beneath your feet exactly as you always have. The great, wondrous, and gentle truth of this new reality is this. Nothing has changed. Not in our orbit. The earth continues its year-long journey, its gentle, familiar path, as if nothing has happened at all. A black hole, you see, is not a cosmic vacuum cleaner. It is simply a great deal of mass packed into a very small space. But the mass is the same. The black hole that was our sun has the exact same mass as the sun did a moment before, and gravity cares only about mass and distance. At 93 million miles away, the gravitational pull of this new, tiny, dark object is identical to the pull of the vast, bright star that was there before. The sun has simply changed its clothes. It has exchanged its bright golden robes for a small velvet cloak. But the hand that holds ours, the invisible thread of gravity that tethers our entire solar system, has not let go. The Earth is secure. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, all the planets continue their ancient clockwork dance, orbiting a new invisible centre. This is a profound, almost spiritual comfort. The engine is gone, the light is out, the warmth has vanished. But the promise is kept. The anchor holds. We are not lost. We are simply a dark system now, a family of planets still holding hands, journeying together through the night. This new sun, this tiny point of darkness, is still our centre. It is still the shepherd of our flock. It is a quiet, hidden heart, its presence felt not as light, but as the steady, unbreakable rhythm of our orbit. We are still a solar system. We are just a solar system of the night. This is the first great truth of our new world. We are not falling. We are still home. But the second truth of our new world begins to settle in, wrapping itself around the planet like a slow, cold fog. The fire has gone out, and the Earth, which lived by breathing in that fire, is now exposed to the void. The cold, not the cold of a winter's night, not the crisp chill of a frosty morning. This is the absolute cold. The temperature of space itself, the deep pervasive cold that exists between the stars. The Earth is a warm stone that has been dropped into a river of ice, and it begins to lose its heat. At first, it would be slow. The atmosphere, our blue blanket, would hold on to the residual warmth for a few days. But the temperature would begin to drop, steadily, relentlessly. Within a week, the average global temperature would plummet below freezing. Within a month, it would be unimaginably cold, far colder than any Antarctic winter. You and all of humanity would be facing the greatest challenge of all, survival in a world without warmth. The surface of the planet would become hostile, the air itself would begin to change. Eventually, the very oxygen we breathe would turn to liquid, and then freeze solid, falling like a strange blue snow onto the barren ground. But the planet has its own warmth, a deep primal heat from its molten core, a memory of its own fiery birth. This geothermal energy, which we so often ignore, would become our only salvation, and the oceans, the vast, deep oceans, would become the planet's last refuge. The surface would freeze, of course. A crust of ice, hundreds of feet thick, would spread from the poles covering the entire globe. The Earth would become a smooth white pearl, a planet of ice drifting through the starlit dark. But under that ice, it would be a different story. The immense pressure of the ice sheet above, and the gentle, persistent warmth from the planet's core seeping up from the ocean floor, would keep the deep water liquid. A vast, dark, global ocean would exist, hidden beneath a shell of solid ice. Life, which perhaps began not in the sunlight, but in the chemical-rich, geothermal vents at the bottom of the sea, would return to its cradle. Life would go on, hidden in the deep. This is the new reality. The surface, the world we knew, becomes a silent, frozen museum. The new living world becomes the deep, dark, and surprisingly warm interior. The cold is a challenge, but it is also a purifier. It forces life to retreat, to find its own inner strength, its own inner fire. The first victims of the new sudden night would be the green things. Photosynthesis, the quiet, magical process that turns light into life, would stop instantly. The entire planet would, in a single moment, stop breathing in the light. The plants, the trees, the algae, the phytoplankton, the very foundation of our world's life, would begin to die. The great forests of the world, the Amazon, the Congo, the boreal forests of the north would become silent, frozen monuments. The leaves would wither, not with the gentle gold of autumn, but with the black, brittle grip of instant frost. The great green engine of the planet would fall silent. This would be the great, quiet tragedy of our new world. The planet's lungs would cease to function. And with the death of the plants, the chain of life would begin to unravel, link by link. The herbivores, the creatures that lived on leaves and grass, would find their food source gone, frozen, and buried. Then, the carnivores. The entire ecosystem of the surface world, built over 1 billion years on the premise of sunlight, would collapse in a matter of weeks. It is a melancholic thought, a deep, profound sadness for the loss of this beautiful, complex green tapestry. All that life, all that diversity, all that noise and colour, gone. It would be a silent spring, Not of chemicals, but of a darkness far more absolute. And what of us? What of you? Humanity. We are resourceful. We are stubborn. We are creatures of thought and fire. We would not perish with the first frost. We would see the cold coming. We would understand the problem. The end of the green world would be a terrifying countdown. We would have to abandon the surface, our cities, our homes, our monuments. All the things we built to catch the sun would become useless, frozen tombs. Our entire civilization would be forced to migrate. Where? Down. We would have to go inward, toward the Earth's own gentle warmth. We would build new cities deep underground, tapping into the geothermal heat. We would become a civilization of the deep, miners for warmth. We would turn to nuclear power, the tiny man-made suns we created to light our new cavernous homes and grow our food with artificial light. Our survival would be a testament to our ingenuity, but it would be a life in shadow. Imagine it. Imagine your new life. You live in a vast, warm cavern, miles beneath the frozen surface. The light you see is electric, a constant steady glow that never waxes or wanes. There is no day or night, only the rhythms of the clock. You live in a city of pipes and tunnels, the rock around you warm to the touch. The air is recycled, precious. Food is grown in vast hydroponic bays under purple and red lights, a new kind of engineered green. Above you, miles above, is a ceiling of solid rock, and above that, a sheet of ice thicker than any mountain is high. And above that, the stars, the universe. You would be completely, totally disconnected from the cosmos you once knew. Or would you? Perhaps you would build observatories. Perhaps you would drill shafts through the ice, sensors pointing upwards, just to see them, just to remember what the outside looks like. Humanity would become a huddled species, surviving not by conquering nature, but by hiding within it, protected in the warm heart of the mother planet that is itself a cold wanderer. This is a melancholic but comforting vision. Melancholy for all that was lost. The sky, the wind, the rain, the sun, the snow, all gone. Comforting because we are still here. Life is stubborn. Consciousness is persistent. We would find a way. We would adapt. We would survive. And what would our culture become? What stories would we tell? We would become a people who remember the sun. The sun would become a legend, a myth, a god. We would have sunrooms, or perhaps places lit with brilliant, warm, golden light, where people would go just to feel something akin to the old warmth, to remember what it was like. Our art, our music, our poetry would all be about this lost golden age, this dream of light. We would be defined by our loss and by our memory. We would be the children of the dark, huddling around our own fires, telling stories of the great fire in the sky that once gave us everything. Let us return to that ocean, the great hidden liquid ocean beneath the ice shell. Here, in this vast, dark and pressurized world, life would not just survive, it would thrive. Near the geothermal vents on the ocean floor, chimneys of black smoke pouring mineral-rich, superheated water into the deep, entire ecosystems would flourish, just as they do today. These are oases of life that do not depend on the sun at all. They are powered by the heat of the earth. Tube worms, strange crabs, fields of bacteria. This is chemosynthesis, not photosynthesis. It is life built on a different promise, a different source of energy. And in our new cold world, this would be the only engine of life left apart from our own. This is a hopeful thought. It means the Earth, as a living planet, would not die. Its pulse would merely retreat, moving from the skin to the heart. You, in your underground city, might eventually find a way to drill through the ocean floor, to visit this hidden sea. Imagine your small submarine descending through miles of solid ice, finally breaking through into a vast, dark, liquid world. Your lights would cut through the blackness, illuminating strange, pale creatures that have never seen light, creatures that live on the planet's own warmth. It would be like discovering a second Earth, hidden within our own. This becomes a powerful metaphor for our own journey. We too have been forced to retreat, to find our own inner warmth, our own geothermal energy. We, like the tube worms, must learn to live on the heat from within, rather than the light from without. This is the introspective journey our species would be forced to take. The loss of the sun would force us to discover our own core. It would force us to rely on each other, on our own community, on our own inner fire of consciousness and compassion. The Earth, in this wondrous way, would be teaching us how to survive by showing us how it survives. Life finds a way, it adapts, it moves from the surface to the deep. It is a comforting and profound lesson. The universe is not just about the blazing obvious light. It is also about the quiet, hidden, persistent warmth. And so, we would continue. Our planet, this ice-covered ship, would sail on through the eternal starlit night. We would continue our 365-day orbit around the invisible heart, the tiny black hole that holds us faithfully. We would move with it on its greater journey, our solar system's slow, 230 million-year orbit around the bright blazing centre of the Milky Way galaxy. We would be a ghost system, a dark companion in a galaxy of light. But we would be alive. Our lives would be smaller, perhaps, contained in rock and warmed by engines. But would they be less meaningful? Or would they perhaps be more so? When survival is a daily conscious act, perhaps life becomes more precious. When the memory of light is all you have, perhaps that memory becomes a sacred text, a source of inspiration. The human spirit, forced into this quiet, dark cocoon, might undergo its own transformation. We would be life that remembers light. And in that remembering, we would be carrying the sun with us. The sun would not be truly gone, because it would live on as the central idea of our entire civilization. It would be personified as a lost god, a sleeping creator, a hope that one day, perhaps, our distant descendants, in ships built from the frozen planet, might journey to another star and feel that warmth again. We would become a ship of memory, and the black hole at our centre would be our silent, mysterious captain. It would be a melancholic life, yes, full of longing for a world that was lost. But it would also be a peaceful one. No more storms, no more scorching heat, no more unpredictable weather. Just a steady, quiet, unchanging world. A world of deep contemplation. A world where the only light is the light we make for ourselves. And perhaps that is the final, gentle lesson. Perhaps the journey is not about the light we're given, but about the light we create. Our quiet journey is drawing to a close. Let us drift back from this strange, cold and wondrous world. Let us leave our ice planet, our hidden ocean, our cities of the deep, and return to the gentle, familiar place where we began. Feel the reality of your own world returning, the chair or bed that supports you, the soft sound of your own breathing. Perhaps you can see the real sunlight, or the real moonlight in your room. Feel how precious it is. This what-if journey was not a prophecy. It was a meditation. It was a way to quietly understand, by its absence, the profound, gentle, and constant gift that is our sun. We have travelled to a world of darkness to better appreciate our world of light. We have imagined a great cold to better feel the warmth that surrounds us right now. The black hole at the centre of our story was not an ending. It was a transformation. It was a door into a new kind of existence, a quieter, more introspective life. It showed us that even if the engine of the world changes, the threads of connection, the gravity, the orbits, the memory of life, can endure. It showed us that life is resilient, that it can find a way, that it can create its own warmth, its own light. And it showed us that we, as conscious beings, are perhaps the most wondrous adaptation of all. We are the universe's way of remembering. We are the keepers of the story. The truth is, our sun is here. It is burning, its light is travelling, and it is arriving right now, bathing our world in life. And that is a quiet, everyday miracle, and a beautiful thought to hold as you go forward into your day, or as you drift softly into sleep. Thank you for taking this journey. Thank you for spending this quiet time here. We hope you have found a moment of peace and a sense of gentle wonder. We will be here again in this same quiet place, waiting for you.